Hello, dear ones. We are Laarkmaa, and we are here to support you on your evolutionary journey. Today, we would like to speak with you about relationships and about your movement towards unity. On your world of such duality and a sense of such oppositeness, you perceive a lot of separation, and that shows up in your relationships of all kinds. As long as you are perceiving everything through the veil of illusion, of separation, you will find it challenging to move towards unity. And yet, at the same time, you long for unity more than anything else. For unity helps you to recognize and remember your connection to each other and your connection to Source. Unity is the experience of unconditional love. Every relationship you have, whether it is an intimate relationship, whether it is a relationship with a child or family member, a relationship with a friend, a colleague at work, it does not matter what the relationship is. Each of you longs for those relationships to be harmonious, not full of conflict. And yet you experience conflict in even your closest relationships. We're going to talk to you a little bit today about how to move forward beyond that. In our book, Remembering Who We Are, we explained to you that one of the key things you need for your evolutionary process is transparency. And yet, because you do not feel confident in who you are, because you feel that you will not be loved, and because you still work with various levels of fear, you defend yourselves and you prevent yourselves from being completely transparent in order to feel a sense of protectiveness or safety. However, true protectiveness and true safety can only come through an open heart that is trusting in the Source of the universe, trusting in the power of your heart to guide you, and trusting in your choice of to whom you are sharing your energy with in any relationship. We're starting with the intimate relationships first because everyone longs for that deep connection with intimacy and partnership. Obviously, the first thing you have to achieve in order to have a deep relationship is a bit of transparency with yourself and a loving relationship with the aspects of yourself that carry both the divine masculine and the divine feminine energy. When you can marry those two aspects of yourself together and recognize that all of who you are, clear parts and the shadow, are lovable, and that you are perfect in your process of moving forward to become a better and better you, when you are making the highest possible choices, when you can accept that as part of your path, it is easier to release your defensiveness and to allow yourself to be more transparent. In a relationship, transparency also means to you vulnerability, and this is where trust comes in. In order to acquire the trust that is necessary to experience deep transparency and deep connection, you must have respect for one another. And respect means that you have to accept unconditionally the values, the opinions, and the interactions that the one you are trusting offers to you. It does not mean you have to align with everything they say. You're capable of disagreeing, but you have to accept that what they feel and say is their perspective at the moment without judging it or trying to change it. When you can do this with one another, it creates an openness for communication. And that openness for communication will then be shown not only with your words and your tones, but with your touch and your body as well. You will begin to hug each other more. You will begin to touch each other as you pass by during your day. You will begin to share yourself more intimately at a deeper and higher level. All of these things come with the beginning seed point of respect for one another's perspectives, respect for who each other is, respect for the path each of you are traveling, and respect that you trust Each of you is doing what you need to do on your evolutionary journey. That level of respect then erases the feeling of vulnerability completely, allowing you, therefore, to move into a place of transparency. And it is from that place of transparency that you can completely, intimately share with one another. Now, we are not speaking only of sexual intimacy. We're speaking of intimacy of the heart. We're speaking of intimacy of touch. We're speaking of intimacy of the silence that you can share and the feelings that you express and the intimacy of sharing thoughts and ideas and changing perspectives as you evolve. All of this intimacy that we are speaking of is deeply enriching, and it helps you move towards a deeper level of unity within your relationship. When you have this within your own personal relationship, your chosen partner, you can extend this by example to all the other relationships within your life. You become someone who is teaching by example for your children, for they will watch how you respect one another and how you listen to one another and do not judge or criticize other opinions or perspectives that are shared with you. They will learn to do the same. And they will grow up feeling that they can trust in the universe, in each other, and be able to share without being judged and still receive the unconditional love that all children deserve to receive. In fact, all humans deserve to receive unconditional love. So you become an example for your children. You also carry this into your relationships with your friends. For even though you may have a differing perspective on a particular topic, or you may have different habits or even different addictions to talking too much, or addictions to shopping to relieve tension, or various things that are not really harmful in the long run, but are different from each other. These things can be accepted as part of the personalities moving through duality and separation towards a greater experience of unity and a higher experience of being in harmony on this earth. Your friendship deepens because you respect one another's path and position, and you respect one another in who you are and who you are becoming. So your relationship becomes more transparent through this respect, and you also move closer into unity. Your work relationships may be a bit more challenging, for in the work position, often you're coming from completely different perspectives. You may be working for the same goal for your employer, or you may be working for the same goal and guiding your employee to achieve certain things for your company. However, you may have completely different paths and belief systems about the reality that you experience. So working for transparency at this level and exhibiting a sense of trust must be earned. When you're in this type of relationship, it must be clear that the one that you are being transparent with or intend to be transparent with respects who you are, and that you may have a different personal opinion from the company objective. If that respect can be shown, you can be more transparent and share at a deeper level, which may or may not open other perspectives for a wider view of harmony within the workplace. But do not automatically say, I have to trust this person because I'm supposed to trust everyone to be transparent. That is too much of a limited perspective of what we are speaking of. Instead, simply recognize that when respect is there, trust is earned, and then transparency can be shared together. It's a wonderful experience, and we're telling you this because we want to help enhance all of your relationships. Now, moving on from talking about respect, trust, and transparency, we want to talk to you about the triggers that you experience in your oppositeness. Especially in close relationships like families. We have spoken to you previously and written in our book, The Pleiadian Manual for Accelerated Evolution and Ascension. We have written that your families are your training ground to teach you how to respond rather than react to triggers. Triggers are there to help you clear out misconceptions about who you are, erroneous belief systems about who others are or what you must do in any given situation, erroneous beliefs about the world. All of the triggers that you experience are there to help you expand your awareness and recognize that in duality, you are always open, if you allow yourself to be, to receiving perspectives that can expand your vision and deepen your awareness as you grow and evolve. So we want you not to expect emotional reactions every time there is a trigger, but instead learn that when emotional feelings arise, that you have the responsibility and the opportunity and the option to choose to take a deep breath in, respond rather than react to whatever you are experiencing from the trigger. When you can do this, you can grow and change from that trigger, because that trigger is showing you an oppositeness that needs to be addressed, a change within your perspective that needs to move towards unity and love rather than judgment and blame. Triggers are there to show you how to be more in unity, how to join your perspectives together in harmony, and how to move beyond your belief systems. While some of your beliefs may be completely accurate and aligned with the true reality, while the person you are being triggered by has a belief system that is completely the opposite, if you can be accepting of where they are on their own evolutionary journey, then you can respond to that trigger with compassion, with grace, and with love, thereby helping them to feel there is safety in being able to express what they are working through and allowing them the opportunity to responsibly learn to respond instead of react to. Therefore, in harmony, you can, if you choose, learn to use your triggers for greater growth and for deeper connection, rather than seeing them as a source of pain and separation. Triggers are not your enemy, dear ones. Triggers are openings for you to move towards higher perspectives, greater understanding, and deeper connection. You just have to have the courage to do your work, to move beyond the natural emotional reaction that you usually experience into that space of taking a breath, recognizing that you are not going to judge, that you are going to be compassionate, and then you are going to respond. So we trust that this talk today will help you build upon what we spoke about in our last live call. Our last live call in August, the first Sunday of the month, was all about using the essence of your energy to be able to learn to shapeshift. Now, if you integrate what we're telling you about relationship, you can deepen your recognition of who you are as energy and the abilities you carry to deeply relate to all of life, both here on this planet and in the universe. You are able to do many things that you are just now incorporating into your wisdom and understanding. So work with what we are sharing with you with love in your hearts, and know that we sprinkle stardust on you every time you experience an emotional trigger if you ask for it. And we are standing beside you, helping you to earn each other's respect, trust in what you are sharing, and move into deeper transparency about all of who you are. We love you. Good always.